Good morning, guys. I gotta go grab my headphones from somewhere. What's up, DS? Right now we have Revlon, TBLT, we have BHAT, gapping up some. We have Zen, gapping up some. Zendesk up to $90 a share. RDHL, gapping up some. GROV. We're watching the SPY, currently sitting at 381s. I'll be right back, guys. Coffee break. I did want to start the stream up. Again, let me know what you're watching while I'm gone. Call out what you're watching the most. And yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, also, let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to, but just to be safe, let me know if you can. Okay, so I'm back. Ooh, it's kind of cold in here. Let me get my headphones on first, and when these die, I'll swap them out. I couldn't imagine being cold in Michigan like this. It's cold right now. Real quick, guys, can y'all hear the music? Let me know if you can hear the music. Morning Hammer, what's up, DS? WBER. Morning, you can see a little pop with AMC since it's getting listed on the Russell 2000 and 3000 today, right? Jojo, what's up, man? Hammer, Ramon. Good morning, guys. I need my coffee today, man. I'm running slow. That's how you spell the Russell 2000, right? Let me see. When is AMC is supposed to be added? Hey, what's up, JB? He should, Larry. Hey, what's up, James? Hey, nice, dude. Oh, it's cold, man. Guys, it's cold in here. I need my sweater. I'll be right back. I need my sweater. I'll leave it unmuted, but man, it's cold. Oh, yeah, it's cold, man. Whew. All right, so it looks like it's already part of the Russell. Mm. Yeah, what's up, Burned? Powell was resting well after that PD, after that pat down. Honestly, the market looks great, dude. The SPY is at 381.20s. So the market looks great. You know? Doesn't look bad. Sorry, I'm just kind of catching up with everything right now. Oh, there's no music? Oh, sorry, guys. Let me fix this. There you go. Now you should be able to hear music. Look at the SPY though. SPY's at 381.17, so looks good. Hey, what's up, Smiling Rat? I'm good, man. I'm good. I didn't quite get enough sleep last night, but I'm okay. Is it a crazy pre-market? I mean, I know large caps are running. So I know large caps are moving, but like aside from large caps. All right, so we're watching TBLT, Rev, AERC, Redbox, BBIG. SoFi, FRGE City, and other banks should start running. Today is GGPI SPAC day. They are ringing the opening bell. It's going to be good. GGPI is supposed to become PSNY plus 6% this morning. Yeah, I was looking at GGPI. BHAT looks good as well. TBLT is up there too. GGPI is at 1130s. Here's PSNY. So it's gapping up some. All right. All right, so yeah, PSNY is at 1180s. No history. So here's the new poll. Here's the new Polestar. PSNY will only squeeze if SPYs around 385 to 389. I don't know. I think the market has gone up pretty drastically over the last few days, which is great. You know, here is a 15-minute chart showing you the last 5 days of price action, and you know the market's up nicely from it. A few days ago we were at 362s, we're at 381s, a little bit under 382s, basically under $20 in gains in SPY itself over the last 5 days or so. And so overall the market looks pretty solid. That's tough, Richard. But yeah, here's PSNY. So question, does GGPI just not move now? Is the movement on GGPI done? Looks like it. Last time it moved was yesterday at 7 o'clock. So PSNY is the new GGPY. New GGPI. What's up, Barrios? Yeah, I've seen some Polestar cars here. So Polestar is one of the other EV companies that I've actually seen produce, and I've seen their vehicles around. They're not bad, but they're not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I dislike Polestar. I like them. I think if they're post production, they're doing better than most other EV companies. Again, my biggest problem with the style of these EV brands is that they all look like Teslas, you know? And I get it, but I think if you're going to try to beat Tesla, you can't just copycat them. I think if you're going to try to beat Tesla, you got to make something unique and different. Yeah, spies up to 381s. Now, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So Twitter agreed to give Musk more real-time data this week. That's great. That's good. Hey, what's up, Kyle? All right, PSNY is at 1190s. We got TBLT dipping down some here. Look at that Benzinga. Unlike Mullen, they actually produce cars. PSNY is up there. Here's Mullen. Mullen at 150s. Mullen has more battery tech to go for it, though, I think. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so Mullen at 151s. Let's see what the Polestar 1, 3, and 5. Polestar 5 is dope. $884 horsepower, 800 volts in the Polestar 5. It's pretty fast. Definitely need different styling, as is. The Model 3 is becoming like seeing a Camry. Yeah, for sure. I think I get why the initial rush of EV companies wanted to separate. Because here's the thing, right? The everyday person on the side of the road is not going to understand the difference between like a regular gas-powered vehicle on the side of the road and an EV company. And so I think these up-and-coming EV companies, they wanted to mimic Tesla because it makes them acknowledged for being EV, as opposed to if they didn't look like Tesla, people would just see them as another car and not even maybe realize that they were an EV vehicle. And so I think with that, you got a lot of up-and-coming EV brands that just decide to copycat off of Tesla. And again, I don't know if that's necessarily the right move. I think that you can make a unique and different style without copycatting Tesla, because frankly, if people are going to buy an EV at that point, they're just going to buy a Tesla then. You know, they're not going to buy the Tesla lookalike, especially if it's the same price. And so I think that's something that we'll start seeing from now on. I think a lot of the EV companies, they all look like Teslas now, but moving forward, I think we're going to see a lot of them that separate themselves with regards to their style. away from Tesla. PSNY will have 6.6 bill market cap versus Mullen at 531. Yeah. Well, PSNY is just a larger company. It's post-production, which is great, you know. Much larger cap, too. Which is all good for them, you know. Yeah, they were talking about getting some muscle EV brands. Kyle, we need an EV company that copies the designs from 50s and 60s. They were talking about doing a muscle brand. I don't know about the 50s, but I think the 60s, the mid to late 60s muscle cars, they should copycat those. That would be fun. But yeah, Mullen at 150s. Still looking at it. Zen is up there. Zendesk. It's got a catalyst this morning of a Wall Street Journal report that the company is close to a takeover deal with Group, including Hellman and Friedman and Permira. So near takeout. So here's the catalyst for this. All right, so Zen is up following a Wall Street Journal report that the company is close to a takeover deal with Group, including Hellman and Friedman and Pereira. What's up, Zola, man? Yeah, I like crypto, man. We watch crypto pretty regularly here. What's Bitcoin doing today? I haven't looked. Just got up. Hopefully it's doing well, huh? Okay, so it's green on the day. That's nice. TBLT broke over the VWAP. Now it's at 270s. SPY is up to 381s roughly. Zen is still up there. Still looks pretty good. Again, I didn't get quite enough sleep last night. CAAS. We've got Hoth. Cannabis stocks are starting to run a little bit here. Here's CANF. I believe this is cannabis, right? We also have like Tilray here. See if it's moving too. So yeah, Tilray's gapping up some too. Interesting. Any reason why the cannabis stocks are green today? Bitcoin over 50K. Or over, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to say that. Bitcoin over 21K. Texas Republican Party adopted a platform plank opposing the legalization of cannabis, but they say that they're okay with federal cannabis rescheduling. This is just law enforcement, man. Listen, I support law enforcement if they're good cops. You know what I mean? But like, I don't support this because this is just law enforcement afraid of losing money. And so they're willing to lock people up for something that's relatively harmless just because they're afraid of losing the money that they receive from locking people up for it. And I can't really respect that. You know, that's pretty crappy in my opinion. And the fact that they lobby for it, it's just a conflict of interest. You shouldn't let somebody that actively puts people in jail for cannabis lobby to keep it illegal so they can continue to do it. Um, at a certain point, it's a conflict of interest, and they shouldn't be allowed to lobby or vote for that, because in the end, this is just like alcohol prohibition. It creates more problems than it solves. The only people that are really benefiting from this are the private prison industries and law enforcement. Texas will be one of the last. Yeah, Bitcoin 50K. Oops. Today, this morning, we're actually drinking coffee. Carol told me how to use the percolator or whatever it's called. And I think, listen, and like I said, I support law enforcement, but I don't just blindly support everything they do out of just sheer conditioning through the media. I think that law enforcement can be good. They can also be bad. I think sometimes they step on people's rights here in the country, in the U.S. And, I think this is one of those areas where they do. And I don't think it's healthy to just blindly defend them just because the news tells me to, But again, there can be great cops. I've met a lot of really good cops. And so, I'm not just blindly hating on them either. But I think we have to look at them objectively and gauge how well they do based off of how well they do. No, Midwest is not. I'm in Michigan right now. Cannabis is legal. Is that a big iPad behind you? No, that is some picture from Facebook. There are bad apples in any industry. Yeah, but I think one of the problems with law enforcement is that they blindly support each other regardless of what they're doing is right or wrong. Right? So if one of them gets in trouble, they blindly support that one regardless of whether what he did was right or wrong. And I think that's no better than the gangs that they claim to go against. You know what I mean? And so I think that you can be law enforcement, but law enforcement shouldn't be defending killers, and they shouldn't be defending bad cops. They should criticize bad cops because that makes them look bad. But what happens the majority of the time is instead of criticizing the bad cops, they say, "Oh, those are my brothers in blue, and we must defend them." It's kind of like, yeah, but they're bad cops. They're hurting people, But it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. We got to defend them. Back the blue. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, how are y'all ever going to get better then? If you're just blindly defending each other, And I get it. It's a hard job. I understand, but that's what they signed up for. They should be against bad cops, not blindly supporting all of them. At least that's my take on it. Yeah, pawn, man. I'm still gone, bro. I said I didn't quite get enough sleep last night. My arm hurts too. I've been playing a lot of catch. Jack is finally getting good at catch. And so for the last all summer I've been teaching my son baseball. And he's hated it. I've had to drag him outside every time I do it. He's stuck on his video games. He's hated it. And I've had to drag him outside, and he's thrown a fit, and he's complained every time I brought him outside. BHAT is at 350s, and he's complained every time I brought him outside. Yesterday, he finally got better at catch. I can throw the ball all the way across the yard, and he can catch it, and he can throw it back to me. And so he feels good about himself. So he wanted to play yesterday. And so he did well yesterday, and he wanted to play, which was the first, which is kind of where it starts. When you start to really be interested in it is when you actually want to do it, and you're not forced to do it. And so I'm excited, man. Jack is finally starting to play catch, and we'll see if he keeps it up. Maddie can throw some heat, man. Maddie can hurt my hand when she throws it. Oh. The only thing I dislike about law enforcement is that they think everybody's a criminal no matter what. It's not that. It's that I think what it really is, it's a lack of funding from the government. And so they are forced to be a little bit more loose with their interpretation of the laws, and thus end up locking unnecessary people up and being just harmful, And so I think like I said, if whenever a cop did something wrong, which I think has been very self-evident in certain situations over the years, it would be really nice to see other law enforcement in those areas say, "Yeah, that cop sucks. You know, let's put him in jail. He killed somebody, or let's put him in jail. He did something incredibly wrong. Let's get him in trouble. Let's criticize that behavior as police officers." But instead, that's not what we get. Instead, we get, "Oh, back our brothers in blue." It's like, yeah, but your dude just did something terrible. You know, you're gonna back that just because he's a cop too. It's no better. Again, it's no better than the gangs that they claim to protect us against. You know what I mean? And so that's my big issue with law enforcement. But again, at the same time, if I'm being objective, there are good cops out there. I'm not hating on all cops. There's great cops, but there's also bad ones, and I think we have to acknowledge the bad ones if we want there to be more good ones. Anyways, probably too controversial of a subject, but all good. TBLT over VWAP, it's at 280s. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, we have nothing but window units here, so. Yeah, Jack's doing good, man. He's doing good. I'm excited for him. He finally wants to play catch. Let's do a poll. Ask a question. All right, so today we're going to ask this question again here. Is this a temporary bounce? Or are we finally putting bullish? Bullish or bearish on this latest stock market rally? Prone to the same lapses in judgment as you or I am. Okay, well that's exactly my point though, Space Cowboy, is that they should be held to the same standard that we are. You know, they shouldn't be just blindly defended if they do something wrong. You know, if cops do something wrong, they should be held to a higher standard than we are. You know, not like I said, you should never see a cop that clearly does something wrong, but yet the other cops just blindly defend them out of like a gang mentality. I don't think that's healthy for people. I think that makes it so that cops are more immune to criticism. And I just think it's worse for the world. It's worse for people here in the country, especially. And so I think with that, you got to hold them to a higher standard. That's what they're there for, you know? And I think that when you start doing that, then cops they'll act right, you know, sometimes, most of the time. And I think if you want cops to act right, you got to hold them to a high standard and you got to criticize them. And other cops need to criticize them. They need to know if they do something wrong that their brothers in blue are going to criticize them. You know what I mean? Because if not, they're just another gang. Yeah, I know. I get it, Space. I think I did monetize JB. Short-term bull, 6 to 12 months. Bullish because the bank report card was good, but bad for real estate. Yeah, I've been saying it for the last year or so. I think there's a real estate bubble. I think we're going to correct. And yeah, I'm talking about this because I think it's an interesting conversation, and so we can agree to disagree if you disagree with me here, and yeah. We will have a great green day today. Remember, end of the second quarter is next week. Yeah, should be fun, man. A little bit slower in the summertime lull, but yeah, I have to check all the Discord stuff. But yeah, TBLT gapping up some. We got PSNY. We got the SPY. We're still looking at Rev. BHAT starting to dip. There's Rev. Rev's back up to 711s here. So Revlon looks kind of good. You know? What about SIGA, SIGA? Revlon's back up there. The SPY's back up to 381s, which is good. Oh, man. Joe, what's the buyout price on Zen? Say it run from 58 to 88 in one candle. The option from insiders is crazy. Let me see. I saw Zen. I don't think there was a buyout specific price here. Let me look at the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal makes you freaking subscribe to see the catalyst. I don't think the deal actually happened. I think it was a near takeout from PE Consortium. It almost reached a deal with a group to buy out, with a group of buyout firms, including Hellman and Friedman LLC and Permira. The Wall Street Journal reported it's got a market value of about $7 billion. So basically, you just got another offer, and Zen is up nicely from it. We'll watch it. I can't wait for the price of used cars to go down. Yeah, man, it's crazy, dude. The car bubble is the most ridiculous, bro. Like, are you really selling Sequoias for $100,000, bro? Like, come on now. I get it. We got shortages in supply, but when those shortages are over, everything is gonna correct. Everything is gonna correct. You know. Tickle me Elmo. I ordered a new Maverick truck in August and just got it 2 weeks ago. It was a great deal. It just took forever. Yeah, we ordered our latest car and it took like 6 months to come in. All right, guys. SPY up to 381.20s. Looks good. PSNY, so Polestar is up to 1205s on its new symbol. And then TBLT is at 280s. We do have Revlon starting to make a push back. It's at 702s, 703s. PSNY up there. All right, guys. So TBLT at 280s. We got Revlon still at 7s. Are you buying Revlon right now? Also, we did this poll here, and the poll was basically bullish or bearish on this latest stock market rally over the last few days. We got 60% bulls, 40% bears. So it looks like the sentiment has changed. We got a lot more bullish people than we did a few days ago. We've been doing polls like this every day, and we definitely got a lot more bullish people. Now, what's up, Polo? Hey, what's up, KB? Let me check out Discord, JB. I haven't even opened mine yet, brother. So. It's a CANF catalyst here. All right, guys. What about PEV yesterday? We see REV reversing here. TBLT still up there. So TBLT is still up there. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Do you think the market will fall below the... I don't know. So I'm assuming you're talking about 2020 here. So you would be mentioning 218s. No. Not right now, at least. I don't know. I could be wrong. Like I said, guys, you guys know me. I never say anything definitively. I have no idea what anything will do. I certainly the SPY. But I tend to think that while inflation is high, we don't have that massive panic catalyst that we had back in 2020 that ultimately drove us down to the 218s. We don't have that type of massive panic and catalyst in the broader market. And while inflation is bad and all, and raising rates is not necessarily good, depending on how you look at it, really, I don't think we're going to hit these levels right now. I think that's very low. And yeah, I think we're still okay. But again, maybe not. Maybe it crashes down. Maybe we do hit those levels. Let me know what you guys think in chat. Yeah, TBLT, BHAT are interesting. They're running up nicely. Oil prices up about 2%. But yeah, Bitcoin rising here, guys. Bitcoin at 21s. Good. It needs it. And again, if you want to check out BitGet, check out BitGet. You can copy other profitable traders. You can trade crypto futures with leverage. And the leverage part is really the most interesting part. I did a video. The video I did the other day, and I'll post this video. The video I did the other day kind of details how you can take small amounts of money, but use it to leverage crypto. And so what I do is I take small amounts of money and then I kind of leverage it with crypto. And so in the last video, I gave an example of me basically taking $100 and getting 12.5K to trade Bitcoin with crypto leverage. And there's no PDT rule in crypto trading either. And so it's just useful for a lot of traders. And again, if you want to check it out, here's the link. They're starting to run back. TBLT testing highs. Yeah, TBLT up to $3 here. 304s, 305s. Yeah, exactly, Pawn. It's just not a big... like I said, everybody's doom and gloom, and people have been calling doom and gloom for years and years. Every year you got the same people saying, oh, the market's going to crash. Oh, the market's going to crash. Oh, the market's going to crash. So even if it does crash right now, there's still, what, like 20% accuracy betting that the market's going to crash. And so, again, I don't even know if it does crash this year, but the catalyst for the crash is certainly the justification for a stock market crash prediction is not quite as high as it was during 2020 when the whole craziness with that actually happened. So it is what it is, but we'll see. Yeah, I think they're just trying to cause panic. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the people that lose the most in these drops, are the people that sell, And so again, I'm number one is that I'll preface this with I'm not telling you to sell or not to sell. I'm not telling you to hold. I have no idea what anything's going to do. The market just might keep on crashing. I really have no idea. What I'm saying though is that the people that lose the most in stock market crashes and corrections are people that sell. In the entire history of the stock market, it's always come back. And a large majority of the time, the stock market has rebounded fully back to previous levels within 2 to 3 years. And so while you might have some short-term pain and volatility, if you're holding long-term, you're holding long-term, and none of it really matters, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. That's why they use the term recognize loss and gains. Hey, what's up? What's up, Chris? You can't blame people for selling with inflation. I'm not mad at people for selling. I think that I talked about it before. And again, I'm not trying to brag here. TBLT broke highs is at 310s. But I'm pretty comfortable with the income that I make. Usually I make over 6 figures and, we're comfortable with it. But even right now for me, I mean, luckily I have money saved and we're fine, my family's comfortable. But it's expensive just to live right now. Just to buy groceries. Groceries are freaking ridiculous. Gas is super high. Just living is expensive. My freaking water bill is $300-$400 a month. My electricity bill, and all of it's interconnected and related, is $600-$700 a month. It's just obscene. And so I think people are hurting. I think what's gonna happen is that people are gonna end up tapping into their savings that they're using for investing to just live because everything's so freaking expensive, man. Yeah. Take the emotions out of your losing trades is a hard thing to learn. Oh yeah, for sure. The best thing you can do is get to a point where you're conditioned to not react to good or bad days. The way I look at it is once I step away from my computer, I step away from my computer. And so whether I'm up hundreds or down hundreds, I don't really celebrate, or I don't really when I first started trading, and this is an important kind of mental habit for traders, especially new traders, to have, because trading can be incredibly hard on your emotions. But once you step away from that computer, just move on with your day. Whether you're up or down big, just move on with your day. What I used to do when I first started trading is if I had a really, really bad day, I would just be super bad mood after that. I would just be in a terrible mood all day, and I would just be mad and angry, and I'd end up coming back to the computer out of that frustration and anger and losing more, and it would just spiral into these big losses. And once you do this enough, like once you trade enough and you're comfortable enough with your trading, none of it really matters. Like, yeah, I'm green, you know, and like I'm happy about that. But even if I was red, I think I would still be okay with it. You just you gotta just separate yourself from the trading. You know, the market's not always going to be incredibly favorable and super favorable, you know. ELT is up there. JB's talking about CANF, cannabis, up to 105s. We'll see if it holds there. GROV is trying to move W key. Hoth at 44, 45 cents. RDHL. Lost 10% of my account yesterday. That's why I'm at C today. Hey, do your thing, brother. I think this would be a great time for 20 to 55-year-olds to start getting aggressive in their long-term portfolios. No, I didn't end up streaming that yesterday. John, don't you think it's time to move to a less expensive country? You can have a better living standard for much cheaper. Yeah. It depends on how long you think this is going to last. I mean, here's the thing, right? First half of the 80s, we had incredibly high inflation in the early 80s. You know, in the early 80s, we had incredibly high inflation. And then towards the end of the 80s, the market was actually booming. Market did really well. And, you know, everybody was happy. And so I think usually when market activity like we're getting now happens, it's only it's usually short-term pain. Now, the market's a little bit more nuanced now than it was back then with online trading and algorithms and cryptocurrencies and, you know, all this stuff going on. But I still think it's in the same market cycle and trends that we have seen historically, which is we're going to correct from this, and I think the market will be fine. Totally agree. Know your loss for the day. Once you hit it, walk away. Know a good win and walk away. Yeah. You know, I think that one of the most underappreciated aspects of a profitable system in trading is simply having a max loss. Having a max loss on a day and then conditioning yourself to follow that max loss through repetition is one of the most underappreciated skills you could ever have in trading. Because whenever you condition yourself to follow that ultimately helps you avoid big drawdowns, which is the biggest thing that you need to avoid if you're trying to run up an account is big drawdowns. Everybody can run up a stack in trading. You can just take larger size until it stops working if you really want to run up a stack. What very, very few people can do is actually condition themselves to follow a max loss and not destroy their account in the process. That's the difficult part, you know? And so if you want to trade, condition yourself through repetition, just do it over and over and over again to follow a max loss. And it needs to be something reasonable, because if it's too big, it'll still affect your emotions. It'll be harder for you to follow it, because if you lose an obscene amount, what happens is the rest of your account is not as valuable to you. And so you say, oh, well, I'm down 1,000 already. Let me just swing for the fences now. I only got 2K left. Let me just, you know, YOLO my trading account and go crazy. And that's what happens, I think, a lot of the time. And so what you really need to do is give yourself a reasonable max loss. Like, I got a $30,000 account. My max loss is about $200 a day. If I'm down over $200 a day, I am stepping away, you know. And I might be frustrated, but after 5 or 10 minutes, the frustration fades and I feel normal and fine. I just go do something else. Yeah, profit target. Profit target is less significant, though, because I think your natural instincts to protect the profit usually come in there, you know, and even if they don't, not having a max loss is detrimental to your trading. Yeah, again, it needs to be reasonable relative to your account size. You know, you can't have a $3,000 account and make your max loss 50%, $1,500. That's not going to be good. I would say if you got like a $2,000 or $3,000 account, your max loss on the day. I mean, realistically, to be completely real, if you got a $2,000 or $3,000 account, your max loss on the day should be like $50. And I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear because they want to trade larger with their account than they really should be. But just understand, the larger sizing you take in any account, the more risk that you're taking, you know? And so you might want to trade and swing with $1,000, $2,000, but it might work sometimes, but eventually it's going to fail. You're going to lose your whole account, you know? Yeah. Ooh, man, that's tough. That's tough, Swabulous. Yeah, that's true, Kyle. 100%, man. TBLT dipping down a little bit. We're still watching a lot of these, man. Still looking at Rev. I mean, Rev went all the way up to over 7s, and now it's pulling back to 670s. Just refused to sell over 6 months. Just kept going down, down, down. Well, it depends on what you're doing, Swabulous. If you're swing trading or investing, I mean, I'm not going to say it's okay, but it depends on what you're trading, right? You're trading penny stocks. It's definitely a bad move. If you're holding penny stocks for that long, it's definitely a bad move. But if you're holding large blue chip companies, I think most of them will come back. But I might be wrong. I don't know. All right, TBLT at 304s, SPY at 381s. TBLT looks like it's going to be a start today. Yeah, it's running up. It's at 307s. If we look at the float for TBLT, Tough Build Industries, it's got a float of about 1.35 million. It's also has some short float here at about 8.5% short float. So it's got some shorts. It's not a small short float, but it's not huge, like parabolic squeeze like short float. So we're watching it, but who knows what'll happen here. Hey, what's up, M. Jones? Rev didn't have the following like Redbox 50-50 change up or down. Yeah, I mean, we're watching it, you know. Watching Redbox as well. There's a few things we're watching. I think it is not a mistake to invest in Microsoft, Apple, Disney, and Co. Yeah, for sure. If you're actually investing in them, even if you're swing trading, I think it's fine. Those are Microsoft OSs are just here to stay. I mean, they're not going anywhere. Microsoft owns so much now, especially in video games, that Microsoft is just going to be a money-making machine for a century. Disney, too. Disney, very cheap right now. You know, owns everything in media, Marvel, Star Wars, ESPN. You know, Disney Plus subscribers went up. Contrary to popular belief, Disney subscribers for Disney Plus actually went up year over year. And so Disney's going to make money. Apple just has the phone game on lock. And I mean, Samsungs are dope and everything. Like, I use a Samsung, but I can't hide the fact that Apple has definitely market dominance here in the US. I think outside of the US, it's a little bit less dominant in terms of phones, but Apple, just a money-making machine here in the US and outside of it, but definitely here in the US. And I think Apple has the US market on lock now. And I think Android still and Samsung still has value because they're so popular outside of the US. But yeah, those companies will be fine. VEDU. Pretty slow. I mean, it moved a little bit yesterday, but it's slow this morning. Doesn't mean it won't move, but it's just a little slow right now. CCL earnings this morning. Carnival Cruise looks green today. Yeah, TBLT breaking highs at 318s, 319s right now. Getting a feel for the market for the day is important as well. Yesterday was not a feel-good day for me. Yeah. I mean, I know for me, like, when I trade the SPY and stuff like that, I do trade the SPY and some stuff like that, but when I do trade the SPY, I think it's very important to understand that some days are just not favorable. And it's very difficult to predict what days are going to be favorable and what days aren't just from looking at it in pre-market. I think that you have to have not just max losses, but you have to have some type of system or procedure to deal with choppiness, because choppiness will be there and that can destroy accounts too. And so you should have an individual max loss per trade, and you should also have a max loss on the day, and you should also have some type of procedure or system that deals with choppiness, because you're going to run into it almost certainly. But yeah, there's CCL, there's Revlon, Redbox at 960s right now, 960s. We got PSNY, the new Polestar, and then here's AMC is at 1212s. Yeah, I think Disney could acquire Netflix. Hey, what's up, Walter? That standard change with supply issues and consumers not having money. Samsung makes devices at all price points. Yeah. That's probably true. ETON is the symbol, right? Here's AMC. CINF is still up there. I mentioned BHAT yesterday and didn't buy it. Oh, good, Michael, man. I mean, listen, FOMO is always going to be there, brother. The good thing about the stock market is that there's always another day, man. There's always more opportunity in another day. BHAT looks pretty solid as well. It's at 313s. So, I mean, it didn't really hold its gains that much. And so you got to look at any stock movement and say, yeah, I should have bought it there and held there. But in the end, I wish I would have bought Amazon 20 years ago, But the only thing I can do now is look for the next Amazon. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Shipping. If you look at, during one of the heavier parts of this last earnings season, when I was listening to the reason a lot of stocks were down and had bad guidance and had worse than expected numbers, almost all of them blamed it on supply chain issues. And so I think supply chain issues are certainly affecting businesses a lot more than people think. And yeah, that's leading to a lot of the problems we're currently facing. I like Carnival Cruise long term, but a little nervous about the earnings call and bargain. Cruise is hurting margins, but new ticket sales volume must still be good and stimulate growth. Yeah, for sure, Chris. Amazon is slightly cheap. Hey, it said, yeah, I think Amazon's very cheap right now. I don't think it's slightly cheap. I think Amazon, relative to how it was in the last few years, is very cheap at this point in time. Amazon's still good, heading to 120 next. Yeah, I think Amazon's very cheap. Here's BHAT. It's dipping down to 3. CBLT is just on a run this morning at 335. Great volume in pre-market too. So the volume's very solid in pre. Had a few people mention like MREO. MREO is still kind of slow. MRKR, that's still pretty slow too. Yeah, Amazon at 113s. And so I still think Amazon's fine. I mean, I'm not going to say I told you guys to buy this dip, but I did mention it. You know, Disney's still very cheap at $95 too. Whew, it's just a nice day, man. I kind of tempted to go outside, bro. I don't think I have the. I don't think I have the extension cord to go outside. Yeah, TBLT at 340s, guys. Wow, man, TBLT flying up. Not crazy. TBLT went up to 350s here. Let's see what happens. There's 350s right here. It's at 330s. See if it holds. Hey, what's up, Beach? You gotta remember to bring extension cords. Hey, you know it, man. I'll have to go buy some at the store. I think I'm starting to talk like I'm Midwest. Hey, you guys going to the store, huh? You know, that's my Midwest impression. Where Canadians like, you guys going to the store, eh? You know? I don't know how I say it regularly. I guess in the South we say, I'm fixing to go to the store. You know? Hey, what's up? All we do is twin. TBLT, 330s. Let's see if the pullback holds. Hey. Just to clarify, I really like my Canadian friends, you know. Yeah, TBLT's flying. Why, you in Michigan? Mother-in-law's. Mother-in-law moved here a few months ago. And so we're coming out here to visit. You can kind of see me right now, look. If you're ready. Let me show you guys my view here. Pretty nice view, if I do say so myself. I mean, it might not look that great, but check it out. Not a bad little morning time. You know what I mean? Very nice, Mike. What is the catalyst for TBLT? Yeah, I'm fixing to go to the store, or I'm about to go. Is what I'll say. It's kind of, I guess, Cajun. I don't know what that is. That's just how we talk. But yeah, TBLT's catalyst. Does anybody know why TBLT's up? Closing of their offering on the 22nd, so a few days ago. And it kind of ripped up. No real volatility yesterday, but this morning it's just flying here. Does anybody know why TBLT is up this morning? 26% Thursday. It reported the closing of its $5.6 million offering. All right, so we're just going to drop this link here. We'll put the catalyst here. Yeah, TBLT flying. $330s. Let's see if it breaks 350s now. At TBLT. AERC, Sega. All right, guys, let me put the music back on here. Craziness for TBLT, though. It's at 330. He's trying to bounce back up again. All right, we're going to put on some of our OG music. Fixing to go to my mom's now and get Luna. Should be interesting to see what she does, seeing us after being away all week. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see Rosie, man. Polestar up big as well here. SPY dipped down to 381s or so, 380s. And starting to rebound a little bit. Let's see if we can break back over VWAP. TBLT, though, man, this thing has been just ramping up. Huge moves, 350 resistance at this point in time. BHAT and then the Zen also moving some. RDHL. BHAT, WKEY. CANF at 101s. Oh. And RBO, yeah. I mean, aside from that, we got some of the big moves from yesterday. Rev, Redbox, 960s, but TBLT is just the big one. Polestar is starting to run back up as well here for PSNY. So Polestar is starting to do stuff. PSNY new chart for new traders, so no historics. Yeah. BOXD. Be careful with TBLT. I think it's a huge pump. I hate T2 and don't get on that, my UK broker. They closed an offering the other day. Yeah, for sure. I'm fixing to go to sleep. Hey. Hey, what's up, Billy? Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. PSNY dipping down a little bit. TBLT at 330s. Oh, man. Not nearly enough sleep. Yeah, man, market looks great. SPY looks great. Market looks great. Y'all do me a favor. Everybody do me a favor. Take the time. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We do this live for free every single day right here. How's Neo? Neo seems to be doing okay. Neo at 23. So Neo has had a really nice ramp up over the last Neo out of a lot of other EV companies is doing pretty good. Neo recently started its comeback resurgence on early May 12th or so, as opposed to Tesla, who mostly is sideways as well here. Yeah, I think the Cybertruck coming out is going to benefit Tesla. When's the Cybertruck supposed to actually drop, though? Anybody know? There's Apple. Apple's at 139. Spy looks good, too. Spy's at 380s. You going to Mackinac Island? Maybe sometime, but I'm not sure when. No way, that's TBLT's market cap. TBLT has a market cap of 2.362 million. Tiny market cap. I mean, that was before this run up. The market cap's going to be a little bit higher, but this is a very small cap stock with a very low float. High short float as well. So TBLT, high short float, low float. Small cap for sure. Prior to this run, it only had about 2.362 million market cap. So very, very, very small. What's up, Jonathan? Tony? Sun feels good. Good morning, everybody. Already done for the day. Thanks to TBLT. Trade carefully. Hope everyone has a good day. You as well. My Hummer EV gets delivered in November, which I think beats the Tesla Cybertruck by a huge margin. Yeah, some guru could accidentally buy the whole company. Very true. What's the EV Hummer look like? Ooh, that's nice. I do like that. I do like that. That's nice. How much do these run? Now, what are the odds of a recession when 1 month, 3 months, 6 months? Any thoughts? I don't know. I think the real question is, have we already hit a recession? And if we have, what's that look like? How's that going to affect everything? I tend to think that I think supply chain issues are still hard. I think that most of this is sparked from the perfect storm of what we had in 2020 with everything, the slow resurgence we had from that, and then after that, Russia Ukraine sparked everything. The big thing to understand, though, guys, here's the true thing: is that this isn't centralized. This isn't only affecting the U.S. This is affecting the whole world. Gas prices are obscene everywhere. If you look at London and you see what London's gas prices are, they're incredibly high as well. So it's not just the U.S. that's dealing with inflation; it's the whole world. And sure, we affect the whole world in terms of like what happens to us, but it's not centralized just to us, and so it's really easy to point the finger at our politicians and say, oh, well, this person could have done this something right and this something right. And maybe they could have. But in the end, the whole world's struggling with us, you know. ETON up again after the halt. Yeah, I heard a few people talking about ETON. SPY back up to 381s. ETON is not doing well from this, though. T1 news pending halt, I'm assuming is what this is at 312s right now. Hey, what's up, SPAC? What's up, Beach? Yeah. ETON all the way down to 315s. And again, guys, y'all follow me on Twitter. We're reporting a lot of these big news catalysts on Twitter. And so if you haven't already, give me a follow on Twitter. Here's the link. Again, what we try to do is we try to report we try to report most of the small cap news every day. And every morning we drop all the big news and that we see that we consider worthwhile to post. And yeah, if you want to get an update on everything, go give us a follow. Here's the link. It's twitter.com/beginnertrades. Check it out. There's the link. Even with the market up, I feel nervous going into the weekend, thinking of flattening, but hate to miss any Monday gap ups. I don't mind being flat over the weekend. TBLT finally pulling back to 320. I guess my question is, are y'all buying this dip in TBLT? Yeah, what's up, Daniel? Mullen dip. TBLT dip is perfect. Just got in. Yeah, the TBLT dip to the previous support or resistance level around $3, I think, is the interesting spot. So, and again, I mean, when you guys hear me call out a level, what you really have to do is you have to look at the entire range around that level. You know, you got to look at that entire range. And so we're looking at the range around $3. It's held historically. VWAP is right underneath that at 290. So hopefully that'll prop it up too. But we'll see. Here's Redbox at 970s. Polestar still at the top. We got SPY at 381s or so. So Netflix beginning a second round of layoffs. Disney is moving forward with the new Planet of the Apes. Honestly, I really like the last ones too. SPY back up to 381s here, and we are getting a little bit of a bounce in TBLT. So Netflix layoffs are starting. So what's going on next week, guys? Do we have any big earnings next week? Let's see what we got. So Monday, no big action. No big action next week. Very few. Now Monday of the week after, Monday of the 4th, it looks like we got a bunch of stuff. I wish they did this a little bit better. Let me see. List view. Yeah. Wednesday. All right, so TBLT, it did bounce, you know, right around where we talked about, up to 330s. Looking up what earnings come out the week after next. Next week is slow and boring, but the week after that looks still kind of slow and boring. I mean, I don't see any major name brands. Is there any place, guys, where is there any site that shows you all the big earnings that are coming out? Like all the big earnings, like the big companies, like the big market cap companies that are dropping. Does anybody know? Like a good site for that, because that's what I'm trying to look up. WD-40 is a company. Who knew, man? Or is a public company. Who knew? Alkaline water. Look at next week. Nothing major. Earnings whisper. Spies will squeeze out some shorts today if this holds. Earnings whisper. Yeah, well, I can look at earnings whisper, but where can I specify where it's big market caps? I guess is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how can I find the big market caps? You know? All right, guys. So PSNY, Polestar dipping down to 1190s here. TBLT bounced up to about high 330s, pulling back down to 317s right now. We still got Revlon. It's at 680s. We're watching the SPY. It's at 381s. We're watching Redbox and all that stuff too. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Benzinga earnings search. Does Benzinga have something like that? I see the calendar, but I'll have to basically search for stocks. You know? Wait, yeah, I can do it. Okay, so there's earnings. Carnival Cruise earnings today. Let's look for next Monday through Friday. Walgreens earnings are next week. I guess you basically just got to go down and look at the estimates for how much they're bringing in. See what kind of... Ooh, MU earnings are next week too. That would be fun. Okay. What is this? All right, so MU earnings are going to be the 30th. So basically next Thursday. All right, so TBLT dipping down a little bit here. Polestar fell all the way down to 1175s. The SPY is still at 381.12s. Revlon is at 680s. TBLT is kind of going crazy here. I got to turn my camera a little bit. Getting some. There we go. Yeah, TBLT up to 314s, 315s. Looks good. Yeah, Benzinga is super useful, guys. This actually was very helpful. So with Benzinga, another pro of this, I guess, is the fact that I can take Benzinga and I can specify all their earnings that come out. There we go. I can specify all their earnings that come out. So I can say, hey, show me all the earnings through the first for next week, basically. And then I can go here to estimate, or the way I look at big companies is I do this, and then hold on, let me see if I can put all the large ones at the bottom so you can see which ones are really big this next week. And so all the big ones are going to be at the bottom. Walgreens, Nike, MU. Super useful. Cenex, Walgreens, MU, Nike. Biggest companies here. And that alone is very helpful. And we got all these other ones here too, but these are the really big ones for next week, which is Walgreens, Cenex, Nike, and MU, Micron. Super useful. TBLT bouncing. And if you want to check out Benzinga, check out the link in the description. You can try Benzinga out completely free for 2 weeks without even needing a credit card number. They let you try it out basically for free. Super useful. Once you start using it, it's very hard to stop because they're just really, really useful. Kind of makes your one-stop shop for everything. Your TBLT banner is huge. The news? Everybody's asking me about TBLT, so I just have the scroller at the bottom to show what's going on with it. Yeah, back up to 330s here for TBLT, so it's still ripping. Yeah, well, thank you, Ann. Banner's fine. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, again, I'm leaving it up because TBLT is probably the biggest runner we've had this morning. And so with that big run, we're going to leave that up and we're going to let it go. Honestly, I'm surprised nobody's telling me I'm in my mom's basement right now. I'm being a YouTuber from my mom's basement. I mean, honestly, I'm not really in my mom's basement. I'm in my mother-in-law's porch. But like kind of similar, right? Where's the haters at, man? Sheesh. Y'all are missing an opportunity. I'm in mother-in-law's porch, so it's close, It's about as close as y'all are ever gonna get because I live in the South and we don't have basements. We have attics because it's too humid and wet where I live. You made trading so smooth, man. Blessed. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. What's BAT looking like? BHAT? We try here. Smooth sounds. John in the morning. BHAT up to 330. So yeah, I mean, it's starting to come back some. 350 VWAP area is what we want to see it break over. I mean, that's going to be a sentiment changing thing. If we break over the volume weighted average price, people will get more excited, hyped up about it, and in turn, it might help ramp it up to test those $4, 422 highs for BHAT. It's currently under VWAP though, so we'll wait and see if it can pop over. Is what we're really doing. I see MITQ that showed up on the scans as well. And yeah, look at MITQ here. Let's see if we can report the catalyst for this one. Where'd my Benzinga go? Did I lose my Benzinga link? There we go. All right, so MITQ. Catalyst for this one is they authorized a $1 million buyback. So here's the catalyst here for MITQ. It's up at 165s right now, 165. So if we're looking at the market cap itself, Bitcoin up to 21.3K too. Yeah, Bitcoin up to 21.3K. Float size is very small for MITQ. It is 7.7 million in the float. No short float, so it's not a short float. Market cap's about 11.5 mil prior to this run up, so it might be a little bit larger now in terms of market cap. The market cap might be like, let's see, what is this up? This is up about 50 cents a share from about $1.08. So we are up just under 50%. And so market cap will probably be like 16 million, 17 million after this run up. But yeah, small cap running up on a catalyst here for MITQ. We'll see what happens. ZEV thoughts. TBLT up there, 320s. ZEV. So again, you guys know me, I'm honest about everything. So low volume, not my style. Maybe if you're swing trading it, but I don't know enough about the company for me personally to swing trade, and the long-term chart looks rough. Short-term, good volatility and good momentum in range. I mean, yesterday it moved up like a third, so it moved up like 30% or so, 33, whatever percent, 33.3% repeating or whatever you want to call it. But it's not exactly that either. Point is, it moved up yesterday. Big percentages, but the volume is too small and too low for me to really want to trade it actively. It's at 390s, gapping up some, so we can watch it, but I need more volume for me. And it just depends on what the float is for ZEV as well. If it's a large float, it's going to be a little bit harder in terms of range to move. This is E-Motors. It's got about 40 mil in the float, so it's not necessarily tiny. It's not huge either. So, yeah, we'll see. Again, we're going to post this on Twitter. And again, follow me on Twitter, guys. Great way to help support the channel. We are trying to grow our Twitter. It's something we've been really actively doing lately. And so help us do it. Read Image Tech authorizes a $1 million buyback. Again, y'all go give me a follow on Twitter. Here's the link. Certainly appreciate it. We drop a lot of the big small cap news that comes out and large caps. Hey, what's up, Ramon? It's 11 million. Yeah, it's probably not live updated. It might be, but this is so recent of a move. It's very difficult for anybody to really get that up to date. But yeah, we're watching it. Again, TBLT pulling back some now. Again, pulling back to that range we talked about. I also see GNLN in like a really cheap penny stocks. Moving some. User, EZFL, Auth, TUM, Grove, WKEY. KPLT is at the 140s. Thank you for the sub. Meerkat Mojo, thank you, brother. The FDA banned Juul e-cigarettes? What? I mean, why? Why? Oh, bro, this is freaking ridiculous, man. This is my problem with politics, right? Like, number one, like, I don't use e-cigarettes. I don't do cigarettes at all. I don't think they actually do anything. Like, they're just death sticks, in my opinion. And I smoked for 30 years, but I finally quit like 2 or 3 years ago. But they're just death sticks. They just kill you. That's all they do. They don't do anything, man. You're literally spending money so that they can hurt you. So I never understood cigarettes, but with that said, I smoked for like 20 years. But with that said, though, if we're looking at this objectively, vaping is far better for you than real cigarettes. Far better. And it's not even arguable. It's objectively better for you than smoking cigarettes. The only people that say it's not are people that chain smoke real cigarettes. And so, of course, people that chain smoke real cigarettes are going to be like, oh, yeah, we don't know what's in those vapes. Yeah, well, we know what's in nicotine cigarettes, tar, all kind of crap. And so it's like, I don't know, man. I'm skeptical of this because vaping nicotine is far better for you than smoking cigarettes. Far better. Is vaping nicotine good for you? No, of course not. But it's better for you than smoking cigarettes. And so the fact that the FDA is banning this while we're selling tons of cigarettes at stores, it's just ridiculous. To be honest, my guess would be tobacco lobbyists, which is ridiculous, honestly. It's when you really think about what happened here, it's just ridiculous. And I know they're probably selling other vapes, and that's fine, but this is like one of the big name brands. BHAT starting to fight back up. It's at 344s. Yeah, most of I cannot understand that logic. But again, I also want you to understand that you're going to have an innate bias against vaping because you smoke regular cigarettes, right? And I get it. Listen, my mom smokes. My mom smokes. My stepdad smokes. And so I'm not judging. I'm really not. But my mom does the same thing where my mom, will chain smoke cigarettes, but then be like, yeah, I'm not going to vape. We don't know what's in those things. And it's like, well, we know what's in cigarettes, though. Vaping is objectively better for you. And again, if you want kids to stop using it, then ban sweet candy flavors. You know what I mean? Ban stuff like that. Don't ban the entire brand. That's just going to make more people smoke actual cigarettes, which is probably what they want. It's probably what lobbyists, that was their goal. It's unfortunate that we live in a place that allows that type of lobbying. Yeah. They say it's to protect kids. That's their shield of it. But again, my guess would be that tobacco lobbyists were losing. And somebody said, "Oh, well, they get into vaping because the cigarette sales are low." My guess was that for whatever reason, Juul didn't want to give the tobacco companies a cut, and so the tobacco companies lobbied against them. And they're sending PAC money to the politicians that enacted this. It's just unfortunate, man. So what are we seeing in MITQ? Can you explain to John? And Consolidates does not want to go down, as I see. Well, yeah, I mean, MITQ is just a catalyst rip. The question is, how long does it hold? We got the top of the range at 175 $0.25 level. We got an ascending trend line moving up here. And so again, the main question with these gaps, though, is you'll see these gaps a lot of the time, and volume is usually the sustaining factor that we want to see. But again, the question is, how long does it hold? We made this big pump up on a catalyst. They authorized a $1 million buyback program. But again, the question is, does this hold? I would look at like 150s underneath this. 150 seems relevant. BHAT. I see BHAT starting to rip back up. And 355's over VWAP now for BHAT. If we're looking at the catalyst for this one, I know this one started to ramp yesterday. Does anybody know why this ran? Not seeing any company specific news for BHAT to justify it. It's at 355s. Again, low float of 4 million in the float. It's a very small float. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased against lobbying. Now they're lowering the nicotine levels in cigarettes that people want to get that. Hey, what's up, Rick? No 21, same as alcohol. Yeah, I guess my problem. Again, my problem is just the blatant hypocrisy of everything, man. Like that's my biggest issue with the FDA doing stuff like this. It's just the blatant hypocrisy in their rule sets. You know, there needs to be an even standard for things. You know, that's the only way we'll have a organized and healthy society is that if there's an even standard of legalization, you know, across all things and matters, from people to how you enforce laws on people to what types of products and services are legal versus illegal and all that good stuff. But in America, for whatever reason, we just have this massive imbalance in terms of the standard of legalization of things in this country. It's ridiculous. But lobbyists, I guess, is to blame. But TBLT at 320s. Yeah, money over morality. Yep. UPST looking good. Yeah, BHAT at 350s. UPST. So UPST upstart. I'm still looking at BHAT. It's testing those highs. Upstart at 39.70s, 39.70s. Algo flushes. Yeah, right. Come on now. Are people really going to talk like some of these gurus aren't front loading on the positions? Come on now, man. You know better. Not trying to show tobacco over vapes, just saying I believe if there were no vapes, there would be less smokers today. I disagree. I think that okay, so here's the thing. And again, I try to remain objective about this, right? I truly try to. I think that vapes can be good and bad. I think that the good thing is that vapes are obviously and objectively better for you than actually smoking anything, because vapor is better for you than smoking anything in all facets. Like take cannabis, for instance. Cannabis is not bad for you. Smoking anything is bad for you, right? So if you smoke cannabis, that is specifically bad for you, right? Vaping is less harmful of anything. Cigarettes, whatever you're using, vaping is noticeably better and more healthy for you than smoking anything. But whenever you have the ability to vape, it also makes you use that product more often. And so, while with cigarettes you have to go outside every 10 minutes or whatever it is, 20, 30 minutes to smoke, vaping you can just continuously use inside your house. And so what happens there is that it makes you consume far more nicotine than you would if you were smoking cigarettes, or than you would be able to inside, unless you smoke inside, I guess. And so I think if vaping has a downside, it's that it gets you far more addicted to nicotine than you would if you were smoking cigarettes. But again, I think cigarette smoke is just objectively more harmful, And so I think if we're making any laws from the FDA, it should be against cigarettes and cigarette smoke, over vaping. But I guess I can understand it. Hey, what's up, Michael? Hey, good luck, man. Nice $500 day. Good. Congrats, man. Yeah, UPST is up to almost 40. We've got AMC people talking about. Here's my problem with AMC, though, guys. Like, listen, I like AMC. I think AMC is cheap here, and I think over the long run, AMC will probably go up from where it is now. Right? But I'm really tired of every small little bounce, people screaming, squeeze and run and, you know, whatever. Every small little bounce, everybody's like, it's time, you know, and it's just kind of like, bro. The last big run we've had for AMC was back in March, you know. And again, I'm for it actually squeezing if it squeezes, but there's just no more false alarms there. When you quit, did you vape for quit? So the way I quit cigarettes, and again, I smoked for like 20, 30 years. I smoked since I was 15. I quit when I was about 30. Because the science behind it, or the statistics behind it really is that if you quit before you're 31, you have like 30 to 40% less chances of getting lung cancer or something like that. It's some type of stat. I'm not 100% sure exactly what the stat is, but it's something like that, where if you quit before you're 31, that you're statistically far less likely to get any type of lung cancer or debilitating diseases from smoking. If you smoke after 31, and then the odds are less in your favor. But the way I quit, and I do think this can be useful if you're trying to quit cigarettes. This is the way I quit cigarettes, and it honestly, it freaking works. It works very well if you want to quit cigarettes. So what I did when I quit is I went from smoking cigarettes to vaping nicotine, and then I went from vaping nicotine to vaping CBD as kind of a crutch, as kind of a substitute for instead of vaping nicotine, I started vaping CBD, and then I went from vaping CBD to nothing. Cold turkey from that, and no moody days, nothing, man. It was very, very easy for me. And for a 20, 30-year habit, I was shocked at how easy that was, And so again, you go from smoking cigarettes to vaping nicotine, and from vaping nicotine to vaping CBD, and then from vaping CBD to nothing. And so as you kind of wean yourself off of it. That's what I did. Worked really well. And again, I was a lifelong smoker. PSNY is at 1208s right now. It's at 1208s. We're watching 1230s, 1240s for where that pre-market high is for PSNY. It's at 1240s. TBLT still at 311s. Let me know if you guys think we're going to bounce here. We're also closer to the VWAP now for TBLT. Revlon at 680s. AMC at 1216s. Yeah, I mean, I guess the question right now is, do you think TBLT bounces at this 306 level where it's currently sitting? Yeah, I feel you, J-Lo. I feel the same, man. It's literally, like I said earlier, cigarettes are like paying for death sticks. They don't do anything, and they just hurt you, and then you're spending money to hurt you, I don't understand it. Yeah, well, Juuls are now banned from the FDA, Shiny. All right, MITQ still trying to bounce back here. 150s. Let's see if 150 holds. BHAT still trying to run. Back over VWAP at 375. This one doesn't have a known catalyst, though, and so this one could just be getting pumped and dumped. I also don't know what about any offering registrations that this one's had, so y'all be careful with this. A lot of the time, whenever you see a stock running up on no known catalyst, you got a few things that could be going on. Number one is you got some trader that's pumping it up to their chat. You got some guru pumping it up to their chat room, calling it out. There's a reason these gurus target really low float stocks. I saw one that almost certainly dumped on his followers, and then it blamed it on an algo crash or something like that. And it's just kind of like, bro, like, why do you think you're only trading very, very low float stocks? Like, I want you guys to watch something here. Okay, watch the gurus, and watch whenever you see a stock that has an incredibly low float, like a very, very small float that's super easy to manipulate. Watch whether the guru decides to trade that one and announce to his followers that he's buying that one. I bet you he does, because those are the most easy to manipulate. AMC is a recovery play, long-term hold for me. Yeah, I honestly like AMC where it's currently at. BHAT is still ripping up. It's at 360s. I think hype stocks are good for 2 to 3 days tops. Yeah, it depends on which ones. I mean, some of them have a longer lifespan. Again, I'm not really one to invest in any of these, though. I'll trade them. So we're pulling back for TBLT right to that $3 level. That's been a big level for TBLT. This has been a big spot. Yeah, baller. I mean, like I said, man, I could be very wrong. Just my initial impression of it is that I find it very odd that a company is. I find it very odd that a company is that instead of removing cigarettes from shelves, they're removing the healthier option for it. You know, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, and that initially raises my red flags. Now, Juul might be owned by Big Tobacco, and if that's the case, maybe the other corporations don't like the market dominance that it's getting in there, and so they're lobbying against it because I know the whole thing's just ultimately really competitive. PSNY is starting to push up; it's at 12.10s, but again, I don't know. I don't like the look of the FDA banning a healthier alternative to cigarettes. You know. Now, it still might be unhealthy and cause its own set of problems, but it is a healthier alternative. And so I don't know if that's necessarily a good move. I don't know if that's a good look. Um, I don't know. I think there's an argument that donuts could be worse for you than cigarettes are. You know, sugar is terrible for you. Is the next large cap undervalued company on the New York Stock Exchange? Hey, sassy. Hey, baby. Good girl. Hopefully, it will be a business long term. Movie theaters in general. Yeah, I think AMC has a chance. Yeah, I think it's very cheap, and I don't know if it's some huge parabolic short squeeze that everybody talks about, though. I think AMC is a stock that has a very large following. Like, I think they have a very large following at this point, and I think that following is going to help prop the stock up. I think AMC has this big following now, and I think it hovering around $10 to $12 a share is very cheap for AMC if you're looking at long-term potential, because I think the likelihood of another run-up based off of hype and momentum is there, and I think it's cheap relative to where it could be. And so, but do I think that AMC is going to pull some crazy big short squeeze with synthetic shares and naked shorts? No, I think even the CEO came out and said that they didn't have naked shares and synthetic shares. That he wasn't sure why everybody was making such a big fuss about it. And I think you got to believe him. He's the CEO. If he's the CEO, and I think that what happens is that you got a lot of YouTubers that have pumped up AMC to their following, and they've told people that some massive short squeeze is going to happen, mostly because the AMC hype followed the GameStop hype, and GameStop was a real short squeeze with big moves. Hey, sassy. Hey, baby girl. Oh, look at this baby dog. Look at this baby dog. That's just a good girl. But yeah, I think AMC's move happened after GameStop, and so people were just kind of more conditioned to look for squeezes. But it doesn't mean AMC's not going to go back up. I just don't think some parabolic squeeze is going to happen. I think it could run up on momentum and hype, but I just don't think the fundamentals are necessarily set up well for some crazy big squeeze like a lot of the AMC tubers are talking about. I think they're just trying to justify calling it, telling people it's going to hit 1,000 or 500 or whatever it was. And instead of saying, hey, I was wrong, the fundamentals aren't really indicative of a big squeeze. They say, oh, well, even though the fundamentals aren't there, synthetic shares, naked shorts, and yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that it's I don't think it's easy to squeeze a stock that has that type of fundamentals. Damn, I've not thought about. Oh, I made myself one already. Thank you. I figured out. Carol showed me how to use the coffee maker. So. Do you think Redbox is still a strong squeeze play? I'm not sure where the data stands after the run up 2 weeks ago. I think that the potential for one is there. And I think that Redbox is still a big relative to where it was before. But I also think that it's up a lot. And I think as time goes on, these fade. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to run up again, but I think I think it's probably a little exhausted at this point in time. I mean, it ran up really big. You know, it ran up from fives back on the 1st of June. You know, if we look back farther, it was at 150s back in March. And so it's run up really nicely there. You know, it's up hundreds and hundreds of percent. And I think it might be a little bit exhausted. And so I think if it does continue, we're going to see a few sideways days, which we're seeing now, and then we'll see another resurgence of momentum. But for now, it's just kind of slow. And I think that's something that happened with the AMC tubers. And I want you guys, like, even if you're like an ape, you know, and again, I'm bullish in AMC right here. I really am. Like, I think AMC's cheap. I think it's got a huge following, and that makes me bullish on it. But I think what happened is that people were trying to make videos on it to grow their YouTube channels, right? And so when people tried to make videos on it, they had to come up with the most sensationalist headlines. And so they moved around and they twisted the numbers and they desperately tried to come up with a justification for like some crazy squeeze, right? And so it's like, dude, if you twist and turn the stats in the perfect way, sure, it can make it look like there's some crazy squeeze incoming, or that there's tons of naked shares and synthetic shorts or whatever, but it's not really provable, you know? And so what happened is that you got a lot of people that are trying to get views, post videos, and so they're trying to make the most sensationalist video, and so they kind of twist the numbers to make it seem like some crazy squeeze is going to happen so that they can get views. And I think that just made a lot of new traders that don't have a ton of experience get overly optimistic, you know? And again, I had a lot of traders that hated on me in the beginning when I talked about this with AMC, and I was talking about this at like 50, 60, $70 a share for AMC. Maybe it wasn't 70, but I was talking about this when AMC was high. And I was trying to tell people like, hey, look, this is not GameStop. It's not going to go to 500 bucks. And I had a lot of big time YouTubers too that kind of got weird with me. And, you know, again, most of them were just pandering to the community at that point in time. But now AMC's back at $10 or $11 and they're silent, you know? And I mean, it is what it is. I think squeezes are fine if you want to capitalize on them, but you got to look for what a real true squeeze is. Look at Redbox. I consider Redbox a true squeeze. You know, Revlon too. Super high short float, low float, super high short float. Those are two things you need. You know, you need super high short float, like 30, 40, 50%. You know, GameStop, when it ran, had 120% short float. So just incredibly high. You also need a low float because low float gives it momentum. You know, without a small float, it's just going to be very difficult to gain that type of traction that you need to break hundreds of dollars in price. And without a low float, you know, it's just going to be hard to get the momentum that you really want to see from these type of things. You know, if not, it's going to be the range is going to be too restricted. If that makes sense, you know, to where it's just going to be hard. You know, now it doesn't mean it can't grow. It doesn't mean AMC can't go up. AMC has a shot too. TBLT bounced up to 325s. It's now down to 312s. So it's trying to move. It's up to 312s. Yeah. Yeah, what's up, Tina? Good morning. Yeah, Zen trying to move. But Redbox is a legitimate squeeze. Redbox, Revlon too. I mean, if you look at these, what do they have? They have very small floats, high short floats. Same thing with GameStop. And so I think analyzing squeeze plays can be profitable and you can do so successfully and you can have an edge in analyzing these type of squeezes. But I just don't know if AMC is one of them. You know, and I think you can look and see a lot of squeezes we've had in, you know, Revlon and Redbox recently. It's just, again, you kind of need a small float for these squeeze places. At least that's what history has shown us, you know. Hey, what's up, Owen? Good morning. Willing to risk. Yeah, for sure. You can make graphs that always look favorable to you. Yeah, for sure. You can twist stats to make them whatever you want to say happen. You can make graphs. You could say, oh, well, look at this guy, and if this guy did this and this guy did this, you know, then maybe the crazy squeeze will happen, you know, or maybe there's all these synthetic shares or naked shorts that we just can't find because of this obscure data or this obscure data. But what people don't understand is that this type of data can be inaccurate. Like this type of data is not always the most accurate in terms of source and reliability. And so while you might be able to twist some stats to fit the squeeze potential that you want to happen, a far more likely conclusion to this is, or a far more likely thing with all of this is just that the data was inaccurate, you know, and so it made people think there were more synthetic shares or naked shorts than they really were because of some missing piece of data that for whatever reason the source didn't show. And that's what I'm honestly seeing more than anything else with these type of squeeze plays is like they're taking some obscure data and they're twisting it to say what they wanted to say so that they can get the views and make the sensationalist videos that they want to make. You can type in AMC squeeze and look back at all the videos that were made about it. All the videos that were made, you know, videos back at $30, $40, $50, $60 that said the squeeze might happen tomorrow, and then the squeeze doesn't happen. And then another video says the squeeze might happen tomorrow, and then it still doesn't happen, and just kind of rinse and repeat, you know. PSNY, yeah, PSNY testing the high of pre-market is at 1240s. Right now, 1240s is at 1233s. So we'll see. Hey, thank you, Emmanuel. Yeah, y'all hit that like button, guys. You know you want to. Just try one time. Just asking, why would anyone invest in a company that can't make money? They haven't for the last 5 years. The movie houses just can't make money anymore. I wish you well if you own it. I don't know. I think AMC can make money. I think, but I think outside of that, you know, I think outside of any of that, you got to look at the following of AMC. You know, I think fundamentals, you know, might not be great, but I think that whenever you got a supportive following and community like that, it can get over a lot of hurdles that you wouldn't normally get over. And so I think with that, stock market is just a gauge on group psychology, not necessarily a gauge on how healthy companies are, because a company can have great earnings and fail, and terrible earnings and run. And so it's more so a gauge on mass psychology. And if you got a lot of people supporting a specific stock or community, it can get over a lot of hurdles that it wouldn't necessarily. Hey, what's up, Tony? Combo, gamma squeeze, short squeeze. Yeah. All right, PSNY at 1230s. Which one, Brandon? Oh, BHAT going to 10 today. We'll see. Yeah, we're at 366. So let's see if it holds VWAP support here. There's 1240s for PSNY. It's 1240s. Does BHAT have a low float? I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, so BHAT float is about 4 million, a little bit over 4 million. PSNY, so Polestar just broke highs at 1250s. 1260s. $12.65. Bitcoin still at 21.23s. Man, look at Polestar run. Wow, look, a big move over 1240s, almost to $13 a share now. Yeah, I feel you, baller. BHAT short interest, not really super high. Polestar still running up. It's at $12.95. It's tapped $13 a share. For BHAT, it barely has any short float, so this isn't a short squeeze. This is just nobody knows why BHAT is moving, and so I have a few theories or hypotheses on the matter with BHAT. I think BHAT could be running from the company pumping itself up in order to either hit traders with an offering or allow some insiders to sell. I think that's all possible. Because usually when you see a stock moving up with no known catalysts like BHAT, there's usually something going on behind the scenes with why it would just kind of wake up and fly. Polestar still flying up at 1307s here, 1307. So just a huge rip. TBLT is at 303s. All right, we still got MITQ. What did that one? BHAT pulling back the VWAP at 350. Let's see if it holds. We got MITQ at 140s. 140s. If you look at the year-day chart and look at volume, somebody definitely front-loaded usually volume for BHAT the day before. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Walter. Somebody front-loaded onto this move for BHAT and then called it out to their following, or, you know, who knows. But, I mean, look at this for BHAT. Like, look at this. So here's an hourly chart, right? Like, look at this move. Somebody started look at this volume. And BHAT looks to be bouncing some. Bouncing right at VWAP at 350s up to 370s right now. Yeah, another. No, it's not Rosie. That's Sassy. It's a different dog. What's up, Tiny? Man, look at Polestar. Still breaking highs. MITQ didn't hold. TBLT testing 3s. PSNY still ripping up. It's at 13s. They had an offering cancellation. Okay, that's good news. That's cancellation of dilution, basically. So that's good. Zen dipping pretty heavily just now, down to $75 a share. I slept in today, all good. It's summertime. Things are slow. Got about 30 minutes until the market opens. 30 minutes. All right, PSNY is at 1310s. So it looks good, man. PSNY is starting to ramp up. Good volume for pre-market, too. So Polestar getting some hype this morning, guys. Yeah, what's up, Leslie? TBLT at 306. We've got Zen at 75, $76 a share. EQOS starting to ramp. NRBO. BHAT, a lot of people are still watching this one to see if it holds at 360s. Yeah, what's up, Leslie? Rev down 47 pre. What's support after 650s? I mean, I think 650 is the big support level. Gonna clear this out for Rev. But I think 650 is the obvious one close to us here. $6 underneath this is probably pretty big too. And then I just kind of pivot to like previous pre-market high right here, like 475. We got $8 above us. That's big. These are kind of the levels that I'm looking at. 720 previous closing prices above us. PSNY is a SPAC, so price target is $1. Okay. PSNY is up to 1280s. Some vapors are hoarding Juul e-cigarettes after they were banned. Jeez. And after all this stuff, bro, after all this talk today, you know what's trending in the US? AMC squeeze, man. Jeez, dude. Yeah, at least some people are making fun of it. I mean, hey. But yeah, AMC squeeze is trending on Twitter. What's the justification for? What is AMC's short float showing right now anyway? So here's AMC. See what their short float is even showing right now. 21% short float. So not crazy high. I mean, it's not small, but it's not like super parabolic squeeze level. Just lost 200 on REB. Can't take it anymore. It's all good. Do you have a video showing how to scan for these names? No, not really. I'm using Benzinga. Did you see a hedge fund manager posted on Twitter that they shorted AMC and challenged people to try to hurt them? Let me look this up. What hedge fund, though? Who? What was the hedge fund? What's the handle? The dude that did this. Yeah, I don't see anything for that name. Cliff, what's the name of the hedge fund? What's the Twitter handle? Is really okay. Okay, I see it. Cliff. What a name. What a name for this man. Okay, so he is managing founding principal AQR Cap Management LLC. Well, let me follow him. That's unfortunate. PSNY dipping down here. Y'all buying this dip. BHAT trying to hold over VWAP. Are y'all buying that as well? TBLT at 306s. We're watching that too. Oh, man. All right, guys. So BHAT is at 360s here. We do have PSNY at 1280s. TBLT is at 306. Yeah, I got private. Yeah, what a great name. Small short position. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, he might be trying to artificially stimulate a squeeze. You know, like he might be trying to do this because he knows that this is going to cause an influx of buying. So it could just be an artificial pump, is what it sounds like to me. He can say he's shorting it, and that's cool. Unless he shows proof of it, I think he's probably just trying to get traders on board of trying to punish the squeeze, you know, if that makes sense. PSNY, yeah, it's at 1280s. We're watching that. Yeah. Okay. Hold on one second, guys. Just doing something here. Hey, John, can you move the Benzinga scanner to the right so we can see the volume in each stock? Sure. All right, so TBLT back over VWAP here. There you go. Let me move this. There you go. All right, team. So, yeah, no worries, gold. BHAT at 480s. Yeah, it's down under VWAP. It's at 350s right now. All right, guys. T is looking good. Got Luna back home. I was an adventure. Just got excited. Yeah, Q is exactly in the middle of the directional pool. Nice. All right, guys. So TBLT's back up to 320s or so. 320s. TBLT's up to 320s. We got AMC at 1216s. So we're watching that. Dog runoff. Which dog? No, he was on vacation. So BHAT trying to pop back up. I'm still looking at IONQ here. We got REV that's trying to make moves too. There's REV at 660s. JAGX starting to pop up. It's at 38 cents, 38 cents. Now do me a favor, hit the like button if you haven't already. With the notification bell. And again, y'all go follow me on Twitter. Callaway Golf is trying. Yeah, looks all right. Good chance for a bullish day. SIDU will rip today. Yeah. So we're watching it. JAGX here. We got TBLT at 316s, 315s. SID will rip. Yeah, there's JAGX here. We got TBLT at 315s. So let's see if it holds support there. You know, it certainly could. All right, guys. 15 minutes or so until the open. Have a great day. Hey, you as well, Aldrin. Good luck, man. SRNE just popped. These are 230s. PSNY. Ripping up, of course. MITQ is another one. BHAT, we're still watching. A little bit slower here. GLNN. We got ZEN with the catalyst here. Staff, STAF, but it looks like it's a split, reverse split. Aside from that, it's pretty slow. Yeah, I mean, the SRNE ramped, but it's still kind of slow. MITQ failed. Rev, still watching that. We still got SIDU. We got like AERC. We're looking at BBIG. It's at 225s right now. CANF, which is a cannabis stock. GNLN. Hey, nice, Larry. Hey. Yeah, we had Lane in here. I don't know where Lane went, but we had Lane in here a while back. John never drops below 250 to 300 crowd, 10% famous. We try, you know. No, I mean, like I said, man, one thing y'all got to really understand is that everybody lost viewers this summer. You know, everybody did. It's slow time, man. Summers are slow usually historically for the stock market. Earnings aren't here, so we're not covering earnings like we usually do because frankly, there's not any big earnings until next week, which we'll cover. But it's just earnings, and the stock market just has less attention. And I think it's mostly because people don't have as much money to trade and invest anymore because of the high inflation. You know what I mean? So it's like less people are trading, less people are interested in the stock market. The AMC squeeze is done, and you still got some runoff from that. But overall, it's just it's a slow time for stocks historically, and you know, volume will come back. Same thing with crypto. Crypto is very, very slow, but volume will be back there too. You know. Polestar analysis. Well, I think Polestar is interesting. I mean, it's at 1280s right now. 1315 highs look interesting to pay attention to. We also have built up some support at 1275, which looks good. But it just depends on if we hold there or not. Yeah, for sure, Menina, 100%. I bought 10,000 GGPI last week. Should I leave or take it out? I don't know, brother. I never answer those questions because I really don't know. JAGX is starting to push up. It's at 42 cents. Revlon at 670s. TBLT at 307s. But I think in terms of other traders in my niche, I'm doing better than most of them, I think. At least that's what it feels like. But again, I mean, it's a slow time. Revlon at 675s. We got GMVD, which basically just crashed out, man. EZFL starting to run. We got MITQ, BHAT. We got Revlon. We're still watching that. Do y'all think Revlon comes back today? It's at 675. Let's see if it bounces there. 650, 675. JAGX looks like a reverse cup and handle. Or not a reverse cup and handle, a cup and handle breakout. Look at Polestar, guys, running back up to 1310s. Yeah. I might pull out. I might pull a King's on a point. Yeah, for sure, Tiny. A lot of stuff's really expensive right now, to be honest. Polestar up to 1305s now. We got 12 minutes. Look at JAGX. It pulled that cup and handle breakout that we talked about. Went straight up to 50 cents. Straight up to 50 cents a share. All right, guys, 12 minutes until the open. JAGX is up there. Polestar is up there, too. It's also Friday, so I don't know how long I'll stick around. Polestar to the moon. Yeah, Polestar looks great, man. 2-minute chart. Do you like AMD this price for a swing? It's Friday. Yeah, for sure. And I didn't get enough sleep last night. So I'm tired. PSNY, yeah, Polestar at 1292. Looks good. Now do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Oh. JIGX. Here's Polestar. The question is, do we hold over at 1275? G and LN mail order vapes might be. Yeah, it's at 36.5 cents. Might run. I don't know. Yeah, AMD this price for a swing play. Oof, I don't know. AMD, it just depends on what you think the market's going to do. I think AMD follows the market pretty heavily, and so I think with that, I think AMD's cheap relative to where it was, obviously 6 months ago. But I think that it's also vulnerable to just movement in the market affecting its price and momentum. And so I think the real question is, do you think the market's going to go back up? And, we'll see. All right, so GAGX is falling back down. We're still looking at BHAT. Still under VWAP here at 340s. Let's see if it holds support there. It's right under 340s. All right, guys. So PSNY. Hey, Cappy. Hey, baby. This is Cappy. Cappy's so sweet. Market's not going back up. Not too many have. Yeah, I mean, I think the market's very cheap right now. I think Disney's $95 a share. I think Apple's very cheap. Amazon is like $110 a share. And so I think with that, I think market's very cheap. And I think, again, the people that lose the most during these crashes are people that sell. And I think it's just about it's a long game. Look at Dead Cat bounce this morning, but no bounce. Yeah. Definitely third best sleeper in the world right now. 1280s for Polestar. Let's see what happens. Let's try to move back up. 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. Third best sleeper in the world right now. I paid $96 for my share of Disney. Might not be bad. I tend to like Disney. It depends on how long you're willing to hold it, I think. TBLT just popped back up as well. Here's Revlon at 670s. But yeah, for Disney and Amazon and any large cap, really, I think it's just all about how long you're willing to hold it. I think over the next 2 or 3 years, we're almost certainly going to be higher than where we are now. But short term, there's always risks and volatility, you know. Polestar pulling back to that 1275 level. The puppies are all by my feet. Hey, Sassy. Hey, baby. Thank you, Sassy. But yeah, TBLT up to 312s. We have BHAT at 350s. JAGX at 37 cents. Couldn't hold VWAP. What about MITQ? I know that one ran earlier. It's at 130s, 140s. All right, Sassy. PSNY bounced right around that previous support level. I think 1275 has built up as a pretty big support level on PSNY. 1275, 1280s. Coinbase, are y'all bullish on Coinbase? Being bullish on Coinbase here basically means that you're bullish on Bitcoin moving forward. And I think Bitcoin's very cheap. So I think if you're looking to take advantage of that type of sympathy in crypto, you can buy Coinbase or any other crypto stock, Mirror, Riot. If you, look at Mirror, man. Mirror's at 720s. Riot is at $5 a share, man. Crazy. Kind of shows how substantial the drop in Bitcoin was, to be honest here. YVR, which I think is an NFT stock, works, streaming, workplace stock. JAGX, Polestar still up to 1290s, $13 a share. TBLT is at 308s. ZEN is at $75 a share. So Zendesk, good catalyst, but dipped down to 75. So we're watching that too. GNUS, 81.5 cents. BCNX moving. No, thanks, JB. Solana launching a phone. Here's Polestar pulling back to 1288s. TBLT is at 307s. BHAT is at 340s. Yeah, good luck today, guys. Meta squeeze hard. So Meta, Facebook is going up. And it's up to 161s. What's the SPY doing is the real question here with this, though. SPY's up. It's up 380, so the market's doing well. But I think that's just what Meta is how well the market's doing. XRP is on fire. Is it really? I see Bitcoin. Bitcoin's back up to 21.2s, which is good. XRP up 15% today. Wow. Has XRP gotten as affected by... All right, there's the opening bell. All right, guys, so there's the open. Let's switch the scanners over to regular. Meta is at 162s. TBLT is at 313s, 312s. BHAT opened up. It's at 340s. Yeah, PSNY at 1310s, guys. 1310s for PSNY. TBLT is up to 310s. Meta is at 161.70s. There goes PSNY at 1330s here. 1330s BHAT is pushing up. It's at 360s right now. 360s. TBLT is at 310s. $366 for BHAT. Meta's at 162. All right, guys. So PSNY dipped. PSNY dipped all the way down to 1250s. BHAT is at 360s. Are we getting any lag, guys? No, I might need to move to a different room after this because we might be getting some lag in here. I gotta figure out where the monitor is. I did bring myself a Ethernet cord that I could probably plug in. But let me know if you're getting any lag, team. Yeah, PSNY big drop down to 1250s. BHAT's overview up here. It looks interesting. All right, guys. So Meta ripping up. PSNY dipping heavily. SPY flying up too. Market moving. We're going to wait and let it volatility play out before we start trading. Okay, switching this back. Look at PSNY dip. It's at 1160s. SPY is up to 382.64s. So it's moving up big. 382.61s now. BHAT consolidating. Look at TBLT fly up. So that's a big move. All right, market dipping down a little bit. We'll wait for the SPY to play out. PSNY bouncing all the way back to 1220s, which that's good. All right, we're scalping 2 contracts. How's my realized P&L down, dude? I just made money. That's crazy. I guess where I took profit. All right, so now it's back up. Still dipping. We're going to add some more to this dip. 2 contracts. About break even now. I really like this ad, though. Getting a dip, testing the highs now. We took a little bit off there. Ride the rest up. Maybe add back on a pullback here for the market. VERU is actually ramping up. SPY looks very strong here. See if we can break highs. PSNY is trying. AMC ripped up to 1220s. All right, so we're up about 11 something on the day. First trade in the book. SPY breaking highs again. BHAT's flying up. It's at 383s. Rev, RAV. Yeah, there's BHAT, TBLT, PSNY struggling. Here's Rev. Market breaking highs. Rev ripped up too. It's at 713s now, so that looks good still. Market is just ramping up. Yeah, so we're up 15. We got a few little more scalps here. You can see $15 in profit. So not bad. Gonna wait for another dip to attack that here. AMC right up to 1220s. BHAT is at 360s. Rev is at 714s. TBLT is pulling down too. Yeah, so we ended up buying this little dip in the SPY and riding this up some. So we're up about $23 so far. Not bad for 6 minutes. Attacking the SPY's volatility here. AMC running up. BHAT is at 360s. Revlon is at 713s. TBLT is at 322s, 323s here. But AMC is starting to pop up. This Q following the SPY as usual. Yeah, I mean, they both kind of follow each other. Q just has a little bit more tech involved with it. EXE and Trion. Here's Rev. Rev is at 7s. We're still watching that. Finally getting a dip in the market here. Get a dip in the market. Let's see if we rebound here. Yeah, so market's dipping here. Let's see if we rebound. I mean, a lot of people are anticipating a rebound. PSNY is back up to 1220s, 1230s. Watching to see if the market bounces up. VWAP didn't really follow it up, and it is Friday, so y'all be careful. We did have VERU. It's kind of running some VERU. And look at TBLT break these highs. It's at 335s right now. Yeah, all good. Rev. Yeah, Rev's popping up. It's at 720s right now. That's good. All right, so market's dipping down some here. Had a bullish open, but now we're just kind of sitting, waiting. Seeing if the market rebounds some. TBLT's up big. Market turning around quickly here. Gonna let volatility play out some. No real trend yet. I mean, we got an upward move at the market open, but kind of sideways trendy now. Let's see if a bounce is possible there. We have VERU at 13s. Look at TBLT ramp up and REV at 750s now. 750s for REV, so big move there. Tesla over 720. TBLT is going. All right, so market's starting to come back some here. Give it a chance. PSNY still trying. BHAT's dipping under VWAP now. Revlon is at 740s. TBLT is at 340s. Market starting to bounce. Pulled right back to the VWAP here. PSNY is up to 1218s here. Look at TBLT, man. This thing is not even turning around. Look at this. 350s here. Testing the high pre-market. Looks good. All right, so we're trading the micro and the regular E-mini, I guess I should say. We're going to get out there. So we're about $300 on the regular E-mini and $73 on the micro. Or $73 down on the micro. Market ripped up. Beautiful bounce at VWAP here. Which your short just was showing on Rev is high. TBLT going crazy at 350s. Revlon at 760s. PSNY still consolidating over 12s. $383s for SPY. Still trying to break highs here. Revlon dipping down. BHAT at 340s. Man, TBLT is just going. You know. Scalped a little bit more on the SPY. We've been pretty successful with that today. And again, if you guys want to try out the same thing as me, I'm trying Top Step. I'm using Top Step right now. Top Step's a funded account program, so they give you a demo. If you can hit their target while following their rules, they'll fund you. I wanted to trade Top Step this week. We'll be back to our regular account trading next week. So stick around. But yeah, if you want to check out Top Step, I'll post this link. Really dope really dope platform. Ultimately allows you to get around the PDT rule. Just to give you a quick example here, if we look at the E-mini and then you look at the SPY, does the exact same thing. You see E-mini, here's the E-mini chart, here's the SPY chart. It does the exact same thing. And so you can trade the E-mini with no PDT rule in futures. And on Top Step, they're the gold standard. They're regulated in the US. They've been around for over 10 years, fund thousands of traders a year, pay out millions of dollars. And if you want to check them out, great way to get around the PDT. You can buy market, buy bid, sell ask, all just like everything else. Here's the link. Check it out. Market dipping down a little bit now. See if we get a pop like a hammer candle, 1 minute pullback. Man, look at SPY rip though. TBLT is up there too. Revlon finally dipping down. Finally dipping down here. Gonna add some more. We're in 2 contracts now on the SPY. See if we get a quick little momentum pop. There we go, slightly green. Looks like it wants to move up. Consolidating break even now. Here's the SPY on the right side here. All right, so we took that off. You can see where we're at, and now we're in 1 contract left. We're going to see if the SPY continues to push. Up almost 400 on the regular E-mini, down about 75 in the micro. Trying to be patient with this last contract left. And again, we're going to be going back to our regular TOS account next week. All right, so we just we're up about 400 on the E-mini. IMPP, what's up, Kerry? Yeah, what's up, Sam? Up 15K on TBLT, nice. Every share of TBLT has been traded 32 times since market open. That's crazy. Yeah, there's a commission per trade on Top Step. Man, TBLT up to 350s. Big support level here. So it's a big thing if it holds. Revlon up to 750s. Right. Roblox moving. SPY still ramping up. PSNY still kind of quiet, but TBLT is running. Yeah, Roblox is ramping up, mostly with the SPY, though. I mean, Apple's ripping up. I'm sure AMC's following it, too. So, yeah, AMC's ripping up. Apple's ripping up. Disney's probably ripping up. Large caps in general are moving up right now. And so if you look at any large cap, for the most part right now, unless it's just a opposing sector, they're mostly moving up. Yeah, here's Rev. Rev is at 750s. Revline's still ramping up. We got TBLT flying up. It's at 375s at this point in time. Bitcoin dipping down a little bit now, so not really following Bitcoin perfectly. The market's running up that big on a Friday. Hey guys, I think I'm going to close it down though. I hope you guys understand. I'm tired. I didn't get enough sleep last night, so I might try to go catch up on some sleep. It's Friday, you know. Market's doing great. TBLT's running up big, but we'll be back. We're up decent in futures already, so we'll probably just chill. Guys, I hope you guys understand. With that said, you know,